Alright, and hello everyone, it is me, Jay Burns, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make this bracelet right here. There we go. This bracelet right here. This bracelet is my own original design, and this is a part of my triple single pet series, and this is the triple single pet reindeer bracelet. So, this is kind of for the winter holidays, because it's all the winter holidays and reindeer and stuff. So yeah, anyway, I'll be showing you how to make this bracelet, and to make this bracelet you will need a loom, just an ordinary loom like a loom board, such as a rainbow loom. And the instructions in this tutorial are specifically for rainbow looms, or just any loom with 13 pins in each pin bar. So if you were to count the number of pins here on the left side, there would be 13. Same for here in the middle, and then 13 pins also on the right side. If you have more pins or less pins, you will have to kind of add or get rid of some bands, or some rows of bands, and I would recommend getting rid of the background bands, or adding more background bands, which are these blue rows here. And yeah. You will also need a hook. I'm going to be using a metal tipped hook from Rainbow Loom, but if you have just a plastic hook or some other hook that you want to use, you can use that as well, as long as it's for rubber band bracelet making, or maybe even crochet, but anyway, as long as you can use it. You will also need a clip. Any clip used to make rubber band bracelets will work, or should work, and this one that I'm going to be using is a C-clip. Then, you will also need rubber bands. There are 5 groups. I'll explain what they all are. So, the A group, the A bands, they're going to be, well, I guess you would call it the skin of the deer, reindeer. And then they're also kind of the top part of the ears, and then there's also this little slip knot here. Then, these B bands are the background bands, and these are the rubber bands that you would be either adding or getting rid of, because your loom is either bigger than 13 pins or smaller than 13 pins. Then the C rubber bands are the color of the antlers. I think that's what they're called. Okay, I can't remember what it's called. I had a little brain fart there. But anyway, they're going to be these things, these black things here. Then this 4th group here, they're going to be all the other little features on the reindeer. So the nose, the eyes, and then it also includes this white part of the ear on this example. Then you're also going to need this last group, which are the connector bands, and they are the bands that make this bracelet possible. They're the reason why you can have the eyes here, and also why you can have the 3 little single chains together and not just 3 little single chains you have to hold together some other way. And in this example here I have clear bands, but in this tutorial I'll be using A and B colored rubber bands for my connector bands instead of clear. Clear is just the usual color that is used. But anyway, the number of each group of rubber bands you're going to need, the exact number if you're using a rainbow loom, or 13 pin long loom, will be listed down in the description. And if you need to adjust the number of bands because your loom is a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, the equation for that will be in the description, so you can figure that out. And it'll be changing the B rubber bands you need and the E rubber bands, so the connector bands. And also, I will be calling all the bands by what they actually are. So like the A rubber bands, they were like the skin. So I'm actually going to be calling them the skin rubber bands in this tutorial. So anyway, use the pause button so you get the supplies you need, and we'll go ahead and get started. So to begin, we're going to make the parts of the deer. We're going to make the ears and the antlers. first, because as you can see, they're completely detached from the rest of the bracelet. Oh, there we go. They're like their own little parts, so we'll need to make them first. And, well, we're going to start by making the antlers first. We're going to place everything on our loom before we loom it all, and then we'll take it all off. Okay, so first we're going to start with the antlers. I think I said that already. So we're going to make sure that the arrow on our loom is pointing away from us. And to place the bands you need for the antlers, we're going to make one at a time. So for this first one, we're going to start here on the left side. We'll take one antler rubber band and place it going up from this first left pin to the second left pin. Then we'll get two antler bands, and we'll place them both going across the second left pin to the third left pin. Then we'll get two more antler rubber bands and place them both going up from the third left pin to the fourth. And then we're going to get two more antler bands, and instead of going up the left side even more, we're going to take these two and place them going from this fourth left pin to this fourth middle pin. So it's kind of going down on your loom if you have it in the staggered configuration. Alright, then we're going to go ahead and continue back here on the left again, and we're going to take just one antler band this time, place it going up the left side of our loom, so from this fourth left pin to the fifth. Then get one more antler band, place it going up from the fifth left pin to the sixth, and that's the end of that first antler, except for the cap bands, but we'll add those when we go to loom. Now we're going to make the second antler, and to do that, we're going to take one antler band. Instead of starting on this first right pin, we're going to start on the second right pin. Take the antler band, place it going up from the second the second right pin to the third right pin instead of the first and the second. Now we'll get two antler bands, place them going from the third right pin to the fourth. Then again, get two more antler bands, place them going from the fourth right pin to the fifth right pin. But then, before you go ahead and continue more up on the right side, you'll get two more antler bands, and instead of going up the right, you'll place these two antler bands going from this fifth right pin to this fifth middle pin. It's kind of like it's going from the right side and going down into the middle, like this. Then we'll just take one antler band now, and we'll place it going up the right side again, going from this fifth right pin to the sixth right pin, and then one more antler band going from the sixth right pin to the seventh right pin. And now you should have four more antler bands for your cap bands, but we're not going to loom these antlers yet. We're going to do that after we add the ears. Okay, so you should have something like this here on your loom. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and work on the ears now. Ugh. Got a couple bands. Alright, but anyway, what we're going to do to make the ears is we're going to start here on the left side, and we're going to start here on the seventh left pin. Yep. And we're going to get some skin color bands, and then also some of the extra bands that will be the bottom part of the ears. So like this white. And I was originally going to just use white again, but I'm going to use some other skin tone bands. Alright, anyway, we're starting here on the 7th left pin. We're going to take one, I guess bottom ear band we'll call it. We're going to place it going forwards up the loom from the 7th left pin to this, from the 7th left pin to this 8th left pin, and then the other going from the 8th left pin to the 9th left pin. Now, we'll take 2 skin bands, we'll place them coming back to the 7th left pin here, we'll place them going inwards from the 7th left pin all the way up here to this, what pin is this here? Okay, so yes, the 9th middle pin. So we're stretching the band like this here, and we'll take the other two, we're going to take, the other 2 skin bands and place them going in from this 9th middle pin to this 11th, this 9th left pin. So you'll make a shape that looks like this. It's like a 7 with a line coming down from it, and like right here. So you'll have something like that on your loom. And then we're going to go ahead and make the other one. We're going to make it on the right side. And instead of making it, we're going to make it on the right side. So instead of placing it here on the 9th, oh my goodness, I can't remember anymore. The 7th right pin, we're going to start on the 9th right pin. And we'll take the bottom ear color and we'll place it going from this 9th right pin to this 10th right pin, and then another going from the 10th right pin to the 11th right pin. You should have something that looks like this on your loom right now. Right, and then we're going to add the top of the ear part, so the skin bands here on the top, and we'll take 2 skin bands, place them going from this 9th right pin up here to this 11th middle pin, and then you get 2 more skin bands, and from this 11th middle pin to this 11th right pin we'll place those skin bands. So now it should look like a backwards 7 with a line right here, kind of like a bow and arrow, or just a bow. Alright, and I just remembered this, but if your loom is a little bit shorter than my loom, so shorter than a 13 pin long loom, what you'll do is you'll actually, whatever you could fit on your loom, that's what you'll put on your loom. And then I'll show you how to loom the designs, so the ear and the antlers, and then you'll just have to go back and make the other parts that you weren't able to make before. So I do apologize for not saying that before. But anyway, now we have all the parts we need to make. We're going to flip our loom around so the arrow is pointing towards us. And now we're going to get our hook and a few bands. We're going to get 2 skin bands. Actually, we're going to get 4 skin bands. And we're also going to get 2 antler bands. Nope, 4 antler bands. Yep, 4 antler bands and 4 skin bands. Alright. Let me adjust the camera. Alright. So what we're going to do is we're first going to loom the ears because that's what's closest to us right now. So I'll show you how to loom the ears once, and then I'll show you how to, and then I'll go through and loom the other ear. And then I'll show you how to loom an antler once, and then I'll go through and loom the other antler, just to save time, and because they're both pretty easy. So to loom the ear, you're first going to need to make a triple cap band with a skin color band, or a skin band. So you'll take a skin band, and to make the triple cap band, you'll find the pin on either the left or the right side, whichever side you're on, which it should be on the left. You're going to get that skin band, put it on that left pin that's closest to you with rubber bands. Then you're going to put the band on that pin, twist it while it's on that pin, in this new shape you create with your fingers here. That's what you're going to put on the pin. Here we go. Then you should have these two little layers which are making a regular cap band, and to make it a triple cap band you grab one of those two little layers, twist that, and put the new shape you create here with your fingers onto the pin as well. And now you should end up with these three little layers. Now to loom, it's super duper easy. So, when you go to loom, what you'll do is you'll pull back this triple cap band, grab the top two skin bands that are there, they should be together, and you'll loom them out to wherever they're coming from, which should be the middle. And then once in the middle, you'll pull back all the skin bands, grab the bottom skin bands there, so grab them all, there should only be two, and you'll just have to loom them carefully up to where they're coming from, which should be all the way up here on the left side again. Now, we'll return to this left pin where the triple cap band is, pull it back again, grab the bottom band now, which should be a bottom ear color. You're going to take that band that you just grabbed, loom it to wherever it's coming from, which should still be here on the left side. Then grab the bottom band on that next left pin that this band brought you to. Grab that band there and loom it forwards to the next left pin. And that should be at the end now of your ear. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and loom the second ear. So you go ahead and get another skin band, and you're going to make it a triple cap band on that pin, and go ahead and loom the second ear. And I'm going to go ahead and do that, and just use the pause button if you need to. See? Really easy, already finished. So, use the pause button if you need to. I'm going to adjust the camera again so I can show you how you loom the antlers. Alright. So put these other two skin bands you should have left to the side. We're not going to need them quite yet. We're going to need them when we take all the stuff off our loom. And we're going to come all the way up here where our antlers are. We're going to find the antler that's here on the left, and we're going to loom that first. So we're going to take two of our antler bands. We're going to take one of them and make it a triple cap band on this left pin that is closest to you. So remember, to make a triple cap band, you put the band here on that pin that you want it on. Twist it once, put that new shape onto the pin, and you'll have these two little layers. You'll grab one of those two little layers, twist it again, and put that new thing, that little loop you create, onto that pin as well. Then, the part of this antler that's here on the middle pin bar, so that's here in the middle, that end there, we're going to put a regular cap band on that pin. And so to do this, you just take the band, twist it, so you get an 8 or infinity shape, fold it like a book back on top of itself, so now you got these two little layers, and then you can put this cap band on that middle pin where this first antler is connected. So here is what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead and start looming. We're going to come over here on the left side where we have our triple cap band, pull that back, grab that one band underneath and loom it forwards. Do the same thing for this next left pin. Just grab that band there, loom it forwards. Then, before we continue, we're going to loom these two antler bands right here that have this cap band above them. We're going to go into the middle pin where that cap band is, pull it back, and grab those two antler bands on the bottom. And be careful because your cap band will try to come off the pins, and that'll making this more complicated. So anyway, you'll grab the two antler bands and loom them inwards to wherever they're coming from, which should be over here down to the left. Then we're back at this left pin again, so we'll just pull back all those top bands. Grab the bottom two bands, loom them both forwards. We're still on the left, so on this next left pin, we'll grab the bottom two bands, loom them forwards, and then there's just this one antler band left to loom, so we'll just go in, grab that band on that pin, and loom it forwards. And that's how you loom the antler. So you'll go ahead and do the same thing on the right side. You'll put your cap band on this middle pin and a triple cap band on this right pin. And instead of looming this little single chain all the way through, make sure you loom these two antler bands that come in from the middle before you loom these two bands. So if you're not sure, just go back a couple minutes in the tutorial. And I'm going to go ahead and loom the second antler, and then I'll show you how to take everything off your loom. Alright, so there. Now I'm finished. I'm going to turn off this light because the battery's starting to drain. And what we're going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and show you how you take all this stuff off. So first we're going to start with the ears. And this is where we're going to need those two skin bands. We're going to take one of them, and we're actually going to make both of them into slip knots. The slip knots that you see here, to close off the ears. And you can cut these off at the end if you would like, or just hide them inside the design. So the slip knots are permanent, but they don't have to be very visible like they are here in this example. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to find where the last loomed bands are for this first ear. So here on this fifth left pin for me, it's right here. And this is where the skin and the bottom ear band meets. And we just take our hook, stick it going all the way down through that pin so that our hook catches all the bands underneath. Take the skin band, put it on your hook, pull your hook back up through, make sure that skin band is the only band still on your hook, and then put the other end of the skin band onto your hook as well, and take this loop here furthest away from the actual hook part of your hook, take that loop, pull it carefully off and over your hook without taking this first layer little loop thing here off, and then give that remaining loop a tug, tightening your slip knot. Then you can use your hook to take the ear off. So you would just use your hook to pull the bands off the pins. And then the ear might look a little bit messy, so you'll have to do a little bit of adjusting. You should end up with something like this here. Now we're going to take off the second one. It's the exact same thing, so just go ahead and do that. Make a slip knot through this band, or these bands here. And then once your slip knot is tight enough, once you think it is, you can take this ear off your loom. Right, and then you'll have both your ears. And to take off the antlers, what we'll do is you just start here where this triple cap band is and work your way up the loom until you get to this last band in the chain on either the left or the right side, depending on what antler you're doing or you're taking off. So you would start down here, pull the bands off with your hook, but you do not take this last band here off of your loom. So this right here, you do not take that off your loom. So keep that on for a moment. You'll go ahead and do the other antler. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your hook, stick it going down through this last band here for this antler, and just take it off using your hook. And then you'll do the same thing for the next antler. So just take it off using your hook, but make sure the band is on your hook. And there you go. You have both your antlers. And just keep them on your hook until we need to put them back on the loom for the bracelet. So now we can actually finally start making the bracelet. So I'm just going to quickly go through this because that stuff already took a really long time. And also, if you need to go through and make the other parts because your loom was a little too short, then go ahead and go through and make them. Loom them, take them off your loom. And we'll go ahead and make the actual bracelet. So, we're going to make the bracelet one row. So we'll go down the left, the middle, and the right. So one row at a time. And so, here on the left, we're going to start by getting some background bands. And we're going to take one background band and start by going from this first middle pin to this first left pin, outwards and upwards like that. Then, here on the left side, we'll add 3 background bands. So we'll take one, place it going from this first left pin to the second left pin. The next going from the second left pin to the third left pin. And the last one going from this third left pin to this fourth left pin. So we're basically making like a single chain going up the left side of our loom right now. So when I say add 3 bands, then you would add the 3 bands going up like a single chain, unless if I say you get 2 and place them going, well, unless I say otherwise, basically. So anyway, after you add those 3 background bands, you're going to add 5 skin bands to the left. So you'll continue off of this 4th left pin, and you'll just add 5 skin bands. Then we're going to get 4 more background bands. And also remember, if you have a slightly longer or shorter loom, you might need to adjust the number of background bands you use. So you might only use the one that goes out to the left and then the one after that. But whatever you need to do. Anyway, if you're using a 13 pin long loom, you're now here on this 9th left pin, and we're just going to add 4 background bands. We're actually going to add 3. So just add 3 background bands to the left side. And this last background band, we're going to get a 4th one. And instead of placing it going down the last 2 pins here on the left, we're going to place this band going inwards from this second to the last left pin, which is the 12th left pin, to the last middle pin, or the 13th middle pin. So it's like that. It's going inwards and upwards. Now we're going to go through the middle. So we're going to go through the middle row now. And for the middle, we're going to start by getting 3 background bands. Oh, and also if I'm going too fast, just use the pause button. So it should always be there for you. But anyway, for the middle, we're going to start back here at the first middle pin. Arrows pointing away. I hope I said that at the beginning of this part. If I didn't, I'm so sorry, but anyway, if your arrows weren't pointing the right way, you placed the bands wrong, just go back and fix that, but I'm sorry about that. But anyway, from this first middle pin again, we're going to get 3 background bands and add them. So we're just going to go from the first middle pin to the second middle pin. Not going inwards or outwards. Then we're going to add 6 skin bands. Just 6 going up the middle here. Alright. And then, for the end, we're just going to add 3 more background bands. So 1, 2, 3. And you will go ahead and place that 3rd background band going from that last middle pin to that last, or from that second to the last middle pin to the last middle pin. You'll go all the way to the end. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to place the bands for the right side. And the bands you place on the right is actually the exact same thing as what you placed on the left. So, I'm actually not going to tell you how many bands you need to place. All you have to do is mirror exactly what you have here on this side onto this side. So I'll kind of show you. So like here we have a background band going outwards to the left. So we'll take a background band and place it going outwards to the right. Then there's a background band going up the left, so we're going to take another background band and place it going up the left. And we'll just make our way up the right side until we get to this last middle pin, like we did here on the left side. So just go ahead and do that. Use the pause button if you need to. And, well, as you can see here, I have finished here at the end, and your loom should look something like this. You should at least have all of your animal band, or all of your skin bands, so the 5 on the 2 sides, and then the 6 in the very middle. And now, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to start adding the parts we need for the face, so the antlers, the ears, the nose, and the eyes. Right, so for that, we're going to actually go ahead and turn our loom around. Yes, we're going to turn our loom around, and we're going to get either 1 or 2 bands we'll be using for the nose, and we're going to make our way up the face of the reindeer here. So, we're going to start by getting the bands we're using for the nose, and I'm going to use this little red band. And what we're going to do is we're going to place it on this middle pin here, where the first skin band is on top. So as you can see here on this middle pin, what's on top is a background band, and then under it's a skin band. So the first middle pin with the arrow pointing towards you, that has a skin band on top, that's where you're going to place your nose rubber band. And you can make your nose rubber band a cap band, or you can make it a triple cap band, and I'm going to be making mine a triple cap band. So, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And there we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to move our way up some, and we're going to do the eyes next. So get your 2 rubber bands you'll be using for the eyes, and we're going to place them on this left pin and this right pin, 3 pins down from where the top band is a skin band. So up here, the top band is a skin band, and that's the last pin here on the left where a skin band is on top, and then there's this background band. So there's a skin band on top, so 1, 2, 3 here on the left, and then 1, 2, 3 here on the right, and they should end up being right next to each other if you placed your bands right when you had mirrored them on the right side. And these 2 pins are where the eyes are going to be. So what you can do for the eyes is you can do cap bands, or you can do triple cap bands, and what I have here on the example are triple cap bands, and those are what I like to use the most. So you can put a triple cap band here on the left, and then a triple cap band here on the right. And then quickly moving up even more, we have the ears. So we're going to get our ears, and we're going to place the triple cap bands on the loom, and they're going to be directly above the eyes. So they're going to be on these 2 pins directly above the eyes. So you want to figure out which ear you want on the left and which one you want on the right. And the ear you want on the left, you're going to put on the right side, and the ear you want on the right to be on the left side. Because you want the puffy side of the ear, because there's like one side that seems to be puffing out more than the other. You want the puffy side to be pointing downwards. Because when you loom and you take the bracelet off your loom, for some reason the side that puffs out more is facing down. And then also make sure the bottom ear color is on the bottom. And you'll take your triple cap band, and you can either use your hook or you can use your fingers like I will. You're going to take that that triple cap band, stretch it out as much as you need to get that band on the pin there, right above the eye. And you'll do this for both sides and for both ears. Just like that. And now we're going to add the last part we need for the face, which are the antlers. And those are on our hook. So what we're going to do is we're going to pinch these first 2 loops together, because they're 1 rubber band. Carefully take them off our hook. And we're going to figure out where or which side this antler is going to be on. And as you can see here on my reindeer, I made the part of the antler where the cap band was pointing down, but if you want yours to be pointing up, you can do that. But whatever side you want to put it on, you can do that. I'm going to put this one here on the right. So you're going to take this band that you're holding, pinching together, and you're going to put that band on either this left pin or right pin right above the ears. That. And you'll do the same thing for the other ear, or the other antler, and you'll just put it on the other side. And there you go. So after that quick instruction stuff, here's something what you should have on your loom. This is what the deer part of your loom should look like. And now we're going to add our connector bands so we can loom our bracelet. Alright, exciting. So, now have your hook nearby. And you're going to go ahead and get your connector bands. I'm going to be using the same color as my background in the deer. Yeah, you want to have your hook nearby actually. And we're going to start with the arrows pointing towards us still. And if your loom is in the staggered configuration, you'll see at the very bottom that we have a triangle of pins here. And then there's another triangle above that, and above that there's another triangle, and it just goes all the way up the loom, or down the loom. But if you have your loom in the square configuration where all the pins are just aligned in one row, they're not like not in a row like this, they'll just be perfectly straight or something. What you'll see are just straight lines going across your loom. And so if you have your loom in the staggered configuration, you're going to come up here to the third left pin, the third middle pin, and the third right pin. You'll take a connector band and place it going across those 3 pins. The third left, third middle, third right. Same for if you have a square configuration for your loom. Your band will just look like a straight line instead of a triangle like everyone in the staggered configuration. And this first connector band, if you're making it the same color as your background and your deer skin, then you'll want this one to be the background. But all you have to do to figure out which color you place there is you just have to see what band is on top for that pin, for those 3 pins. And it should always be the same when you go up. So anyway, now we're going to take another connector band and place it going across the next 3 pins. Then, oh, and this one is not the same, but I'm going to go ahead and do a background band. Then you're going to take another connector band, place it going across the next 3 pins, over the nose. You'll actually want to adjust the nose so that's above the connector band.